One of the questions I get asked about the most is how much does an app cost? Or how much does a website cost? This is a tricky one. You have too many questions in your head before you even try to grasp what the customer is trying to say. When I asked for details, like, could you tell me a bit more about the app? A simple app, like a basic app, how much would a basic app cost? And that's definitely not enough detail. I try to put them into shoes of not software or virtual world, but let's say in a physical world. How much does a car cost? Or how much does an apartment cost? There's no right answer. So it's a very complex situation. And even with cars and apartments, these things are set. They're defined. They're already built usually. It can be priced. But software, especially in the beginning, they're all in your head, in the founder's head or in the stakeholder's head. So extracting that from your head or from your vision into paper first and then translating it into software is even more complex. It's a very creative process, and it's one that shouldn't be understated. It's better for you as a prospect to know the price of the amount of effort it takes. Because if you would go to an agency and say, hey, I need one front-end guy, or I need one front-end, one back-end, and one designer for 3 months to do this specific thing, it means that you've done some research, you have a certain level of confidence in the things that you want, and you've done a lot of due diligence to arrive to that. My advice is usually first do your own research and understand what it takes, what are some potential technologies. Use a product specification document, draw some diagrams, draw some mock-ups, ask a tech friend to confirm or to change your assumptions. I suggest you do the due diligence because it will pay off later on. Or the other thing is you can schedule a workshop with an agency, or some agencies may do it even for free, where you sit down with a tech person or developer or software architect and you run down through what you think are your requirements, and that will help you flesh out more details about the project, and then you'll understand it even better, basically where you are in terms of time effort, which tends to be associated with cost but also complexity. And then you're in a better state and you kind of have a bit more leverage, more power when you have these talks. So that's a positive side. The risk of just going unprepared and saying, hey, how much does a basic app cost? There's two risks. There's underbidding and there's overbidding. So overbidding is the more straightforward one. An agency can give you just a very large number, and then any potential changes that you might incur, or any change requests or any deviations from the original basic app is accounted in the price. And do this sometimes you put like a high margin for error, and then whatever changes happen you manage the cost within the project. But then the incentives become to keep the software as cheap as possible, which might not be in your best interest. The other risk is underbidding. Basically, an agency gives you a very low price, almost like too good to be true, to attract you, to lure you in, but then they will create change requests, or they will add additional changes along the way, which will imply also commercial changes and more payments for you as a customer, leading to a situation where you either have to pay for the changes or you have some sunk costs because you already agreed. It doesn't lead to a good place from my experience. So the best way is have some more information, do some due diligence, understand, roughly speaking, you need 2 developers to work for 3 months. People are willing to help you even for free in the beginning. So do the due diligence. Don't let the agency dictate the price. Try to figure out more, and then you'll be better off.